All right, can everybody see that? Awesome. Thank you so much. Let me move that over here. So, welcome. Thank you all for coming today. Today, we're going to be talking about captioning and some accessibility concerns as it comes pertains to, excuse me, enhancing our video accessibility across our platforms. So, as Mitchell mentioned, I'm on the distributed learning team, which is within the Center for Teaching and Excellence, where CTE focuses on faculty development. We have consultations, multimedia production services, which is the side that I'm on, and there's also tons of different resources that are available to you all on the CTE website, and that URL is sc.edu/CTE. I have this QR code here. If you want to go ahead and scan that with your phone, it'll take you directly to the site. So that way you can bookmark it and save it for later. I'll leave that here for just one moment. Okay.
I think since you moved your screen, we can't see it shared anymore.
Uh-oh. Let me.
It could be, Aaron, that Zoom has tabs at the top of it. I'm still seeing it on my end.
I've got it. Thank
Okay.
you.
No, no problem.
Awesome. So we do have a video production studio here on campus. It's located here at 1716 College Street, right across from, I'm forgetting the name of the building right now, right across from HRSM. Rob, if you can, thank you. Close hip. The name just escaped me here for a second. We do provide lecture capturing services. We have a light board, which is a interactive board that faculty members can record their content with, and also still, they can write on it with neon markers, and any content that they're willing to share. Add to their students as they're recording it, they can pop it up on the board, and all of that is kind of put together with the cameras. We have a teleprompter, and we also have green screen that we utilize so we can put in different backgrounds behind the videos. We primarily use Camtasia, Premiere Pro. We have a couple other different tools and softwares that we also have at our availability to kind of produce instructional video content for faculty. I'll leave that here also, and that'll take you to the link where you can request our services also. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Mitchell.
You're welcome.
All right, so let me see. This is just a sample of a couple of different videos that we have recorded, instructional videos that we have recorded. I want to play them. I think it might come through choppy on the other end, so I won't play them. But we have a lot of these have all been done with the green screen, so you can see we have gone on site to a couple different locations to record that content as well. Oh, well, let me go. Okay. So our goal for today's session, we want to understand the purpose and impact of captioning. We want to demonstrate how to edit captions in Panopto, demonstrate how to edit captions in YouTube Studio. More so, I'll show you all how to access them there. You can't really edit them unless you are, and you can edit them in Panopto, but you can't really edit them inside of YouTube. And then locate some resources for accessibility here at USC. So, if you can just type it in the chat really quick, when you hear the word accessibility, what comes to mind first? And captioning is one of our accessibility kind of focuses right now. There's many of them, but as the federal mandates are coming down the pipeline, and we have to ensure that all course content is accessible, what are some of the first words that comes to mind? Ensuring everyone is able to have access to information, equality for all, removing barriers to learning, allowing all students to access the curriculum. I'm loving it. Leveling the playing field. Absolutely. I like all of those. So again, that U.S. Department of Justice digital accessibility requirements for public institutions. They're, I believe, set to be in stone by April. I think everybody, or at least everybody, should be preparing right now for, going back and reviewing our course content to ensure that it is accessible. And it was mandated that we follow the WCAG 2.1 level 2A or double A, which means that all of our digital materials have to meet these standards, which includes videos, making sure that our captions are accurate, making sure that they're clear in terms of the transcripts, making sure that we have accessible controls for playback. And for us, it's starting with spring 2026 courses. Now, we do have a video hosting management tool here called Panopto. It is a very weird word. I don't know who decided to name it that, but that tool, I've personally been using it for about 4 or 5 years, and it's been great. I like to refer to it as YouTube for our university. So, Stritto and Linder at EDUCAUSE 2017 mentioned that 76% of college students with a learning disability say they didn't tell their college that they had a learning disability. I was probably one of those students that did not, so 76.1% probably. I did not come forward and say that I was struggling myself, and therefore I wasn't really accounted into numbers and accounted for needing assistance. They also mentioned that regardless of whether a student has a disability of any kind, majority of students end up using closed captions at least some of the time. I think we all can agree that many of us use closed captions, even when watching Netflix. I don't know about y'all. Stranger Things' new season just came out, so some of y'all might be watching it at home with the closed captions on. It's and in the world of technology where we've gotten to where even in social media and TikTok and things like that, closed captions are a whole lot more prevalent. It's kind of become part of the process now to include it. Roughly about 90% of all students who use closed captions find them at least moderately helpful for learning. And the Minnesota Deaf Commission's article on captioning and subtitling benefit all students. They mentioned that captioning and subtitling improve literacy for almost all students, increasing word recognition, comprehension, and vocabulary. So, how can captions help every learner? It improves comprehension and recall. It can aid in note taking and review, helping reinforce different key terms, vocabulary. It can assist in noisy and or sound sensitive spaces, being able to learn without the need for sound, and it makes videos searchable and easy to review. There is a feature in Panopto where you can search particularly for certain captions within a video if you're looking for a certain part, and I can show you all that here momentarily. And again, why accuracy matters when it comes to our captions. A question that I'm going to post to everyone, if you can also put your answers in the chat. How accurate do you think Panopto or YouTube's auto captions, how accurate do you all think they are? What's a percentage? I see 70%, 70%. Yes, I agree with you, Deborah. I hope Panopto is better than YouTube. 80%, 85%, 90%. Okay, I'm liking our numbers here. It's about 80 to 95%. I like to use 90 personally, but about 80 to 95. But accuracy can become a very big problem depending on the way that the content has been recorded. So if you have poor audio quality. So if you don't have a good microphone, which typically we don't have a lot of those issues anymore because our computers have gotten better, our laptops with microphones have gotten a lot better. Things like Zoom and Teams and any other recording tool out there now kind of has built-in sound dampeners to kind of deal with even things like room echo. But if you're in a very large room, that can kind of be a problem for audio quality. I hope you all don't hear it right now, but I have my AC unit on in the window behind me. I think Zoom is doing a very good job of dampening that out and helping with the audio quality that I'm providing to you all. But heavy accents, if you have a heavy accent, that can also mess with the accuracy. Or if you talk fast, I am purposely slowing myself down in my speech right now as much as I can because I am a native northerner and we talk fast as all get out. Uh, Technical discipline, specific vocabulary also has issues when it comes to accuracy. In my prior fields, working in the medical field, a lot of when I used to teach courses, my medical terminology oftentimes was off or it was incorrect because it was something that the medical jargon wasn't something that the captioning systems understood. If you're in chemistry, law, anything that has some pretty technical jargon, you do have to go back and review to make sure that the accuracy is correct. So, an example of that, if you had said during a video lecture, administer zero point 0.5 milliliters of insulin, but it caught administer 5 milliliters of insulin, that can be very problematic to the students in that medical education course because now they're learning the wrong thing. Similarly, in a chemistry class, if you meant to say never mix bleach and ammonia, or if that is exactly what you said, but the AI or captioning system picked up always mix bleach and ammonia, now you have a very bad situation on your hands. So I'm going to leave this on the screen here for just 1 second while I pull up Panopto to show everyone Panopto. But you can scan this QR code and it will take you to the digital accessibility page here at USC. They have some phenomenal resources. Please, I encourage you to go through and look through their page and see what might be beneficial for you. Also, they have their accessibility toolbox. This is probably one of the biggest resources on their page. So please, as I mentioned, go through. You can click the toolbox and go in, and they have a couple different topics that might pertain to you. One of them, making your digital content accessible, which is some of the things that we are, talking about right now. And thank you for that link, Mitchell. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you in editing captions in any platform? You can post them in the chat. 1 being the least, 5 being the most confident. Okay. I see lots of 3s, lots of 4.5s, 5s, and we'll get you squared away, Deborah. Don't, you're fine. You're fine. That's why we're here. We're here to help. 1, okay, yeah, that we will get everyone squared away here. So again, Panopto makes it very, very, very easy when it comes to ensuring that our video content, our instructional videos are accessible to our students, making sure that there's captions, making sure that you can get a hold of transcripts. The rule is that your video, if you have a video and captions are there for the viewer, the learner, the student, if it is an audio file, you are required to also upload a transcript. So I'll say that again. If you have a video, it's required to have captions, so you don't necessarily need a transcript. It can be beneficial if you include said transcript, but if it is just an audio file, you are required to have a transcript uploaded for the ability for the learner to download. Now, I will show everyone also easy ways to get a hold of transcripts using Panopto. So again, don't panic. So I'm going to switch over here. Oh, that's the wrong page. Can everyone see the screen here? This is a Blackboard course that I have. It's just a sample course. There's no students in it, so you don't have to worry about seeing anything awesome. So inside of this class, I will state that if you don't already have Panopto inside of a course, that is okay. If you don't use Panopto, or if you don't have a course to access Panopto through, that is also okay. I will show you a couple different ways that we can access it. We'll start with going into Blackboard here. So inside, you can click the plus symbol and you can go down to your content market, and you're just going to scroll down until you see Panopto video main. And then you're going to click the plus symbol here and it will add Panopto to your course. You can always hide it or leave it visible to students depending on what you want it to be. If you want it to be a video repository, you can make it visible to your students. Now, with Panopto, accessing it this way, you can just click right into it. It will create your course its own folder. So I encourage you, if you're following along, if you're doing it on your side right now, go ahead and just click it once. It will create your course its own very own folder where content can be stored and uploaded into it. If you already have a video, you can click the create button and then you can upload media right here. Go into your file folder in your computer, upload it that way, or you can drag and drop it. Either one works. The other option is if you don't have content yet and you want to record something, you can record in that browser. I always suggest the browser, it's a little bit easier to use. If you download Panopto as an application on your computer, kind of like Zoom Workplace, you can use that one as well. I will also say that if you have other video content on things like YouTube, you can, re-download it off of YouTube, upload it directly here, and it will auto caption it for you. So that is as an option for you. And question, does this work if you have a video recorded as an MP4 via PowerPoint? Absolutely. You can upload that MP4 file directly in, and it will go ahead and caption that for you. So you should not have any issues with that. If you don't use Blackboard, you can just go to panopto.com and you can sign in just using your normal USC information. So when you get to this point, you're going to want to select South Carolina USC Panopto main. And then you might see a page in between here. You're going to want to select Panopto home, and then it will let you log in. So here is what my Panopto looks like on the back side outside of my course. But if I go to that browse button here, I can go through and I can see all the courses that I'm enrolled in, and then I can see the content in those courses. So with that being said, captioning. How do we access captions and transcriptions and things like that? So let's just say I clicked on one of those videos, and this is the video that I'm pulling up right now. This is from a webinar sometime last year. So I can go in and kind of mess around with it a little bit. And when you get to this point, this is the video that's going to pop up. Now, right now, I'm kind of in that editing mode. So when you go in, this is how it's going to look. Turn the sound off on that. Uh, and on the left side, you can select captions. You can see all the auto-generated captions here. It does give you a warning saying, hey, it may contain some errors, but you can scroll through here and you can look. There's also timestamps here as well. The easiest way for you to get a hold of a transcript would just be to highlight all of your captions here. You can right click, copy, and then you can post them into a Word document. Save it. You can save it as a PDF, whatever you want to do. I always leave it optional. If you want to remove the timestamps, you can remove the timestamps. Some people prefer to keep the timestamps. I personally like to leave the timestamps for my learners just because I want them to be able to follow along exactly. And if it is an individual that particularly needs this, they can tell what's being said at that particular time. if sound, is an issue. But let's just say that we do have some errors in here. If you notice in this particular one, and I know I'm probably a very big offender of it as well, which is why I like to use scripts when I record. I don't like to use them, but I like to just because it stops me from saying but there are lots of uhs and ums in this particular recording here. So we do need to go in and we need to remove those. So in the top right corner of this video, I can select open in editor. It will open the editor for me. And all I have to do is go back to captions, and then I can select here. I can just left click and it will open that caption box for me. In this situation, in that last one, it did have Katie's last name is Vaughn. I will say that I have gone through and made a couple of changes already in this particular video. I just did not save it. That's why some of these changes have popped up. But also, you'll notice here's that so I can just go in, I can remove that here, or if I need to take a look at finding the transcript, I can go to this top right corner here. You can go to the ellipses and go to settings. And under the captions tab, or excuse me, not transcript. If you wanted to request another set of transcripts to be made, you can do that here by selecting English here. You can download the transcript file. So here's just another way that you can access that transcript. You can also change the language here if you needed to change the language. I will say that you will want, if that is something that is of interest to you, maybe you have another student that is an English language learner and you want the video to be available to them in their own native language, you can make a copy of this video. And then on that copy of the video, you can change the language. Otherwise, if I select change language on this video here, it's going to change the language for all of my students when they go back to watch it, and their captions will be in a whole nother language. You can also download an unedited caption file, and that will give you the original caption file that the program had originally created. You can upload captions as well. I advise against it in Panopto for the simple purpose of if you happen to do that, you do need to be aware that there is a specific template, a specific format that they have to be uploaded in. And in addition to that, you do have to put in timestamps for every single caption that you put in, and they're not timestamps like this. They're pretty detailed timestamps, so it just makes it much more difficult than it needs to be. So I always encourage someone, if you need something captioned, just load it directly into Panopto, let Panopto handle it, and the only thing that you have to do is go back and edit your captions and make sure that they are accurate. Let me see if I can get this to do one thing here. You can also go in and you can edit your timestamps. So maybe in this particular line, it came in just a little bit late in the video. I can go in and I can readjust this time. So maybe I want it to show up at 2 seconds, and then I can go in and I can save that, and it'll pop up when I get to that 2 second mark right here. Let me see if I can show that. So at 2 seconds, you notice it came in a little bit faster than that 2 seconds, or the almost 3 seconds that it was before. So you do have some ability to play around with the timing of when those particular things appear. Really quick, I do want to address YouTube because I know we're also running out of time here and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. In YouTube, if you happen to go to YouTube, or better yet, I have a video right here for us. So this was a best practices for producing video lectures. This was actually done by my boss, Rob Grickett, who's also here with us. In this particular video, you can go in and you can view the transcript and the captions. A lot of people don't necessarily know where to find them in YouTube. Captions are right down here at the bottom corner. You can turn them on. You can also adjust the settings here, and you can also adjust the settings in Panopto. So I can go back and show you all that also here in just one moment. But if you select the more right underneath the views, you can go down and you can find show transcript, and then the transcript will populate in the top right corner here. So you do have that ability on YouTube to view captions and transcripts here. The problem with this is that you can't download said transcript unless you're the person that posted that video. And you can also you can are they're auto generated and you can't really edit those captions either. Oh, so you can edit the captions and timings in YouTube. Awesome. Thank you for correcting me there, Brian. And back inside of Panopto with our captions here, you do have the ability to adjust the speed on the videos, but in your captions, you can change the color, how they appear, the contrast behind them as well, and the size of the captions, if that is something that you need to do. Now, that this adjustment portion is something that only typically will apply to you. So every person who's watching the video has that ability to go back and readjust that. Under this little caret, you do have that ability to replace certain things with automatic captions, which is currently what is done inside of the video, where you can upload or request those captions also from here. So there's a couple different options that are available. And there is a function that is missing here that I'm right here. I moved it, is the find and replace function. So you do have the ability to, in this situation, maybe I have quite a few uhs. I can go in, type in and I can replace all. If I'm just trying to remove them, I typically just use a space. Now, with this being said, you do have to be very careful because if you use a space or any other wording, UH can be a part of another word, or maybe if I type in is right here. But if for some reason somewhere in your video lecture you said the word summer, SUM, that UM and summer will also be replaced. And so now you have, instead of alleviating and fixing errors, you have created an error because it'll just read SMER when the UM of summer is going to be removed. So you do have to be careful by using this find and replace all function. You can go one by one. It may be a little bit time consuming, but you can do it that way. Um, and you can go to the next low confidence words as well. So you do have some ability to go through and edit these captions here. And as Rob mentioned in the chat, Panopto will have improved auto captioning coming next year. They're doing a lot of updating to their software, especially as these federal mandates are they're affecting every college, every institution across the board. So they're putting their foot on the pedal here to try to get everybody set up. So I'll stop here. Does anyone have any questions?
And feel free to ask a question, but I know that we're coming up at time.
Mhm.
As Rob said in the chat, Panopto is improving. And thank you so much, Daniel, for the presentation. If you have time, we can stay back and answer some questions. But
Absolutely.
if you will be receiving a survey following this for feedback on this presentation. But as your time allows, please feel free to ask questions.